Greetings, I am Tom Earl. On this week's episode, Adaora and I go through an exploration of courageous celebration. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this month's live and online expression session. We know you could be anywhere, so the fact that you're here today joining us with your attention, your gifts, and your creativity means the absolute world to me. Today, because it's Ramadan, we're doing a little more laid back, chilled expression session. It's going to be a little bit shorter, and we don't have a feature. And it's really just a conversation between Adaora and I about creativity and our theme this month, which is courageous celebration. But really the intention was to do kind of a laid back one and record it and share it with people to listen to in their own time. So we appreciate you for coming and listening to this or watching the replay. Means the absolute world to me and to Adaora. How's it going today?
It's going wonderfully. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. What's going on in your side of the house?
My neck of the woods. I have all the sunshine over here, enjoying the natural light in our new environment. I have a little tree right in front of me. It's like being outside, but on the inside.
Nice. So let's jump right in. When you think of courageous celebration, what does that mean to you?
Well, I think for me, courageous celebration has to hit both parts, the courage and the celebration part. So being able to celebrate in a space that might not necessarily welcome or embrace your celebration, that is where the courage comes in. And a way I do it, which I think it used to feel like it was a lot more courageous back in the day, but I do it so often now, it doesn't necessarily feel that courageous, is just turning up to spaces that are not necessarily the most diverse or ethnically welcoming, as my full African, Nigerian, Igbo self, complete with Ankara cloth material, sometimes with a headscarf, the whole me and my voice as I am, and not necessarily just trying to blend in by doing the westernized way of doing things. So I turn up and I celebrate my culture and my people and my family in every way I can.
That's powerful. Snaps for sure. Thank you for that. For me, courageous celebration is, I invoke that because it's my year of courage, but it's also that, with Eid being here and this time of year, that I'm really trying to think about what does it mean to celebrate. And really on this journey of more and more taking time for myself and investing in myself. And so that to me takes courage to trust and to really believe in the power of celebrating life and yourself. And so that's really what courageous celebration is for me, is really investing that time, that love, that energy, and celebrating yourself and life. And not for any sort of outcome or gain, but really because it feels good and it's enjoyable.
Yeah. Snap, snap, snap.
Snaps indeed. Well, this is the part where let's both write 4 sentences and then we'll share a little team poem with it. Does that sound good?
Sounds gorgeous. Okay.
All right. So you go, I go, you go, I go.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Embracing with joy everything about yourself.
It is time to celebrate what I love, where I am standing.
Marveling and marking everything about that moment.
Right here in this very second, this breath, this moment is everything I need.
Serving it loud when it isn't allowed.
It takes courage to trust yourself, and to do so is a great cause for celebration.
Receiving the abundance of the universe, uncensored.
I believe the greatest gift we can give ourselves is that of courageously celebrating the present. Yay! That was wonderful.
That was rather marvelous.
What was that like for you, getting to hear our words come together?
I really enjoyed them. I like the cadence and the back and forth, almost like the yin and yang of it.
Yeah, me too. It's a little easier with two people.
Sure is. Timings like a proper poem. We look like we should go on stage and just perform.
Was there any epiphanies, aha moments, or clarity you gained of what it means to courageously celebrate?
I think it was more the interlacing of our words and ideas. And when you started off with the greatest gift we can give ourselves, I was thinking, is it time? But then you went elsewhere with it. So I enjoyed that.
That is true. I do talk. That is my intro. I suppose for me, one thing a theme that was coming up, and I think I've been singing it in a lot of my writing throughout Ramadan, was this being here right now in this moment, in this very second, and the courage it takes to do that, and the celebration life becomes when you do it.
Yeah, so true. I did have a moment of thinking about being in the moment with my reflection, but most of it was just kind of magnifying from where you are.
How do you do that? Become in the moment, or is that something that you're reflecting on in your life?
Definitely something I'm reflecting on in my life. I've been very much adopting the whole one day at a time thing. Whenever I begin to let the idea of overwhelm come at me, or just uncertainty and worries about the future. And a lot of this meditation I've been doing has been really about being here and now and dealing with today and enjoying today and looking at what my life looks like today and celebrating the life I have today.
That's wonderful. Yeah, one thing that I've been doing is for meditation is that, as you know, I have I'm starting, or maybe by this point have started and have launched my Alexa skill briefing, or my daily podcast, Start with Gratitude. And I've been every morning, instead of just recording them all 7 in a row, I've been trying to record one a day to really get the piece of, I find saying the meditation out loud, recording a meditation, is some of the deepest meditation I'm able to get into than just listening. So I've been trying to do that every day, to record a meditation selfishly, even for my own benefit.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I just really have to get in the moment or what it is, but I just feel such deep peace when I walk myself through the meditation out loud.
Yeah. And the stories and the content themselves, they just take you to a place that is peaceful.
Yeah, definitely. So at this point, we're going to move into your favorite exercise, which is the 20-second writing. So, of course, you already know the activity. We're going to give you 20 seconds to respond. So those following along at home while you're listening, you can write or just listen to this and hear what we have to say. But I encourage you, if you're driving or working while you're listening to this, to kind of think of what your response might be. Sound good?
Sounds great. And you can draw as well if you feel like drawing.
You can express it however you'd like. And let me pull up the stopwatch. All right. Number one is, what are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 2, what does courage look like in your life? What does courage look like in your life? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 3, why celebrate? Number 3, why celebrate? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. One thing that really matters to me right now is. One thing that really matters to me right now is. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 5. Reminder to self. Be sure to celebrate your. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 6. When I hear courageous celebration, I think of. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 7. Who is a courageous celebration role model? Who is a courageous celebration role model? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 8. What role does self-love play in all of this? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 9. What is an action step you'd like to take towards courageous celebration? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is the reward that waits for you along the journey of courageous celebration? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Yay!
That was a lot of fun. Which one of these would you like to jump into? Or do you want to should we just cover all of them since we...
Let's do that.
Okay. What'd you write for what are you celebrating?
I'm celebrating today and my life here and now with my beautiful new apartment and my hunky boyfriend.
I wrote the power of trusting my gut and the journey that flows from it.
Fantastic.
What does courage look like in your life?
Staying the course and continue to chase the work I want the most and not just slinking back into a safe path, regardless of how much easier it is. Mm-hmm. And you?
Courage is waking up every day and investing in the journey, the feelings, and the intention rather than obsessing on the outcomes and results.
The journey, it's a recurrent theme, it seems, with both of us.
Yeah.
Rather than the outcomes.
Yeah.
And so number 3 is, why celebrate?
I put celebration is the joyful expression of life. It is the beauty of seeing the tiniest and minute details and smiling and basking in the big miracles.
I feel like, I'm not sure if that answers the question. That seems to answer the question of what is celebration as opposed to why. Is that a why?
I guess you're right. I mean, I guess celebrate. Why celebrate? Because it's the joyful expression of life. So, you know.
Yeah.
And then I think you're right. Then the second part is more of I think it's still a why. I mean, celebrate because I guess it's a how wrapped in a why. But I'd like to remind the folks listening, there's no wrong or right way to answer.
There is no wrong or right way.
But I do like clarifying questions.
Yes, indeed.
What's yours? Why celebrate?
Why? Because if you don't stop to smell the roses, then the journey has less of a point and it becomes about the destination, which is also, and destinations are such a small fraction of our lives. We need to really be having fun on that journey.
Yeah, and I really feel that when you invest in the destination, you're really going to lose a lot of the Machiavellian ends justify the means, and not just in terms of hurting other people, but for our own lives. Okay, I'll suffer now. I'll put up with a lot of this craziness now because eventually I'll arrive at this and then I'll feel happy. I like this aha moment.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Go ahead.
One thing that really matters to me right now is
food and water.
Yeah, Ramadan does do that to you. It helps you focus on what's really important. I'm just pleased you're getting enough sleep. If nothing else, you get your sleep.
Oh my gosh, and it so reminds me that I'm such a night owl. I've had the best sleep ever going back to bed at 2 a.m. again.
Oh my goodness me.
But we'll see if I can change it again, getting to bed at 11 or midnight.
Yes, let's see if we can.
It might be the new apartment, who knows, but I've been getting the best sleep ever.
Me too. I really have to say I've been sleeping really well.
Maybe it's that we're not surrounded by noise.
And also, yeah, I guess the same thing I'm about to answer for this question. One thing that really matters to me right now is peace of mind. I feel like I have lots of peace of mind. Nice. And mango season, which I'm missing in Nigeria right now. But I'm hoping to maybe catch the tail end of.
Yes, indeed. Reminder to self, be sure to celebrate your
persistence. The just keeping on of the keeping on. And you?
I put your accomplishments, your laughter, your relaxation, your gifts, and your stillness.
Nice.
Thank you. Number 6, when I hear courageous celebration, I think of
Pride weekend, especially in places like India and Russia, where you literally put your life on the line to celebrate with courage.
That's a good one. Anyone and everyone who takes full ownership of their life and their emotions and where they are at and walks that journey bravely.
So true.
Who is a courageous celebrator role model?
Badass Bozoma St. John. I feel like she turns up as her full self, or even more than herself sometimes, larger than life self wherever she goes. Big hair, never care. Whatever style, outfit, clothing choice she wants. It's more about, I think, how she's feeling rather than where she's going to. I think that's a beautiful, badass way to courageously celebrate yourself and your life.
Agreed.
And your legacy.
Agreed. And for folks who are wondering who she is, I highly recommend you check out her interview with Tim Ferriss or her interview with Damon John. I put and folks will remember this from last week's episode, I mentioned this person, my friend Joey and I haven't interacted with him in a long time, but it was his birthday. So I checked out his IG page, and it was really just like him living life, him climbing mountains and biking and having a little baby, and, you know, had like 100 followers, 3 likes per picture, and just like was loving the heck out of life. And I know it not just from seeing the pictures, but from knowing him. And that was a good reminder that I needed, because kind of the world that I'm in, it's about celebrating life, but also engagement. You know what I mean? And seeing that there's different kinds of engagement and spreading joy. And
I want to be friends with him now. You need to send me his, post it so I can be, I want to be looking at stuff like that every time I go on IG. What?
he's going to wake up after these next 2 episodes and have like 15,000 followers. Like, what happened?
He's a role. Yeah. What?
I never wanted this.
How do you find his page at Joey?
I'll figure out what it is. I think it's like Mountain Goat or something like that.
Oh, Mountain Goat Joey.
And he, what's that organization called? Oh my goodness.
No, Outward Bound.
What did you say?
Outward Bound?
No, Sea Shepherds. That's what it's called. Sea Shepherds, where they go on boats and what is it, like the Japanese who kill whales, or and so they go out and they like sabotage their mission. Like they'll cut their nets and drive their boats in front of their boats. And
Joey, he's living a hardcore life.
Yeah, Sea Shepherds.
Nice.
Okay. We were in a band once together too, and the band's name was Cardboard Swords.
Joey, definitely need to be IG follower to Joey.
What is an action step you'd like to take towards courageous celebration?
I would like to. Oh no, I think we missed one. Number 8. What role does self-love play?
What role does self-love play in all of this?
Mm-hmm. I think to celebrate, you need to believe you're deserving, and that comes with self-love. And that's the role I think it plays. And yourself?
I put self-love is the foundation of celebration, and it is the reward of courage.
It sure is. I think
I like
we
that.
say the same thing. Yeah. It's a foundation. You can't really celebrate without self-love.
Yeah.
So yeah, the action step you'd like to take towards courageous celebration?
Muting the continual hum of self-doubt and self-judgment, instead amplifying the trust, the acceptance, and the joy.
Amplify, baby, amplify. Snap, snap, snap.
I don't think you like the DJ horn.
I do actually. It's an odd addition to your repertoire, but
every time I do it, you always give me a look like not needed.
It's more kind of like, I guess this is sticky around. I don't mind.
You're like, that added nothing to the moment.
No. DJ horn should stay. It is a very, It always gives me pause, but in a good way.
I've done it before. I think that when we finally went to that club type thing and you heard it, that I think you were able to figure out where it's coming from.
I think it was after we went to that club thing that I started hearing it properly from you.
Before, it's just a random thing Tom Earl did.
Yes.
And now you're like, oh, it's because DJs do it all night.
And they would do it live with their machine, and then you would do it with your mouth, and then they would do it, and then you would, and that's when I think it got in my head that this is it now.
There's no escape.
I can live with it. Yeah. Well, as for other things, we'll have to talk about. But the DJ horn, yes, that works.
What about for you? What is an action step you'd like to take?
Going to public spaces dressed in a drab way and still hold the confidence that I gained from having my armor on me.
What's drab?
Just wearing like the most boring, non-me, non-Nigerian clothes, that still being able to turn up on the outside as whatever it is, maybe blending in, but still feeling able to be myself and to hold space and to make noise, and that I matter from the inside, not from the outside.
It like last night where I was going to my friend's house. You're like, you're going in that?
It was just
Your pajamas.
Yeah, essentially.
I was like, it's Ramadan. They don't care.
Yeah. So true. I saw in your heart you really didn't. And then you had the sweatshirt, the hoodie, the nice little hoodie that sometimes just lifts up an outfit. But an outfit is somewhere where a hoodie's the thing that makes it look more classy.
What is the reward that awaits for you at the end of, or not end of, during your courageous celebration journey?
Enjoying a greater fraction of your life, as I think most of life is mainly journey. So if you can keep celebrating the journey and celebrating along the journey, then you'll be having much more joy than if you're only a destination celebrator.
Yes. I put living life to the fullest and with the most enjoyment. Yay! Thanks for folks who are watching on the Facebook Live. Any epiphanies, ahas, thoughts, reflections from that activity?
Overall, I think it's the whole thing about journey. I think most of my epiphanies came during the process as opposed to now at the end of it when we're at our destination. So I think, yes, our exercise proved the point that we were making.
One thing that I noticed is that we couldn't help but, we had full-on cheesy smiles the entire time we were sharing. And so just talking about these subjects of celebrating and courage and enjoying the journey, just that alone elicits laughter and smiles and goofiness and playfulness. So I like that.
Yeah, and having to think about our role models as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the witnessing of courage, celebration. Why do you think that is, that being around others who do it or having role models of doing it or modelers of it? Why do you think that's so impactful?
I think they're just a very useful reminder that it is possible, and it's not just all philosophical, airy-fairy thinking. You see someone living it, and someone ordinary or extraordinary, but just someone else. It reminds you, you can do it.
You can do it.
Like we say in where I come from, the person doesn't have two heads.
What does that mean?
Sometimes you think to be extraordinary, to be able to do amazing things, or what you think is amazing, you have to have at least two heads. You can't just be a single person with a single brain. But no, it's an ordinary person who puts their foot in their trousers one leg at a time. And they are able to do this, so you can as well.
That's what my dad used to always say. Like, son, remember, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. This is the other story my dad told me one time. This is worth telling. He was like, so picture me, 18, I'm going to Vietnam. You walk in and they shave your head and then they strip you completely naked. And then you walk into, imagine you go to your high school gymnasium and all the guys have their backs against the wall or they're in a line completely naked, diversity, all of this kind of stuff. And then they come up and they check your balls and they have you cough. And depending upon how high or low or what happens, when they check your balls when you cough, they then tell you if you're fit to serve or discharged. And he's like, so picture that. To fight in Vietnam, they would check your balls to tell you if you're in. And he's like, son, the moral of the story is sometimes life just doesn't make any fucking sense.
goodness. Oh, your dad. So much of his life makes so much sense in this context. Oh, amazing story.
It was a random phone call. It was like, I was at work day, like 2 p.m. I went outside. He's like, 3 things, son. 1, everyone puts their pants on one leg at a time. 2, don't be afraid of anyone. 3, then he told me this story.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Well, I think that's a good place for us to go into the free write.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we're going to take 5 minutes to anything you want to add on, anything you want to express. You can feel free to do so, and then we'll come back and share with the lovely folks who are listening. Sound good?
Sounds very good.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's snap it up for our free writes.
Hurrah!
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I like that. Free rights. Like our rights came to us freely.
Yes.
We didn't have to pay for them or earn them.
I like that too.
Given to us free.
Good ahas.
I live where I'm free to celebrate anything I want, in the land of the free and the home of the courageous. And I see so much of that freedom to celebrate being taken full advantage of. Confederate statues and flags lining the streets of towns where they slap the faces of those whose ancestors' demise they celebrate. Yet, when others have the courage to celebrate their freedom by kneeling when there is singing about the home of the free, that freedom is sucked away. I think it takes courage to celebrate and also takes courage to not celebrate. And sometimes you make a stand by taking a knee. And as I continue all my journeys, I'll make a point to pause and consider which option takes the most courage at each point, celebrating or refusing to join the party.
Woo! Yes. Oh my goodness. I love the way you took celebration and the theme. And it's so relevant to what's going on right now.
Thank you, my love. I think reading your piece that you shared on Facebook has really got me thinking, and also reading other think pieces, but yours really did get me contemplating where we are now with the whole thing.
What about it had you reflecting?
Very much the issue that it is about upholding white supremacy by people who are perhaps should know better, because they, on the face of it, don't seem to be combating white supremacy in any way. When you look at the demographic of the people who made the decisions regarding the NFL, it just doesn't speak well to where we are as a country. But then again, as with many other things, the people who are making the decisions versus the people they're making the decisions on their behalf, they don't look very alike.
So true. Well, thank you for that. And if folks want to check it out, it's tomreynolds.com/NFL. If you want to read the article Adaora is referencing. I loved it. I hope that's one that you share with people, even as if it's just the written word, but very relevant and important. I appreciate that.
Thank you, my love.
Yeah, and I like the courage. It sometimes takes courage to not celebrate. I like that. And the juxtaposition. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, mine goes like this. We are here for the celebration. Bring out your anxiousness, your worries, your heartbreak, your self-doubt, and your hesitations. Write them on a mental piece of paper and fold them into a paper airplane. Breathe in deeply, and all together, let us exhale. And create a breeze, a gust of wind, and let all of those emotions fly. Let them travel in the air and feel that weightlessness. Embrace the presence of mind that comes when you just let go. Sometimes it feels like a thought I'm trying to remember. It's just there on the tip of my tongue. I almost have it, and then there it goes. But I get better and better at it, living right here in this very moment. Often, it's like falling into sleep. I am most successful when I just let it happen. When I'm concentrating on writing a paper or a grant or one that I've started and didn't want to, but then I get into the flow and find myself at peace, at a blank mind. It also happens maybe when I'm doing some housework or laughing with friends, or when I'm seeing what Carson and Lady Mary are up to in Downton, when I'm reading the last 2 chapters of a captivating book. In other words, just like recalling those lost and forgotten words, I have the most success when I stop trying, when I release forcing it. Because when you try to make happen what already comes natural to you, that's usually when awkwardness is introduced. Instead, just let go and be right here, free and true and excited for it all. And there it is, your joy waving at you. If it takes courage, be courageous. If it takes relaxation, embrace some laziness. If it takes structure, set aside the time. If it takes peace, relax your mind. Breathe deeply. Do what you must to be courageously celebrating. Yay!
Woo, 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 woo. Oh my goodness, you had a lot in the 5 minutes. Wow. Again, I always suspect that you do all your writing in advance of the session. And I think that one day I will catch you. I still haven't. But oh my, that was full of so many ideas and thoughts. And it felt like a journey in itself. Thank you for sharing.
My pleasure. I did record myself writing it live on Facebook. So you can see the evidence.
The camera was pointed at your fingers.
Well, you can see the words coming on screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe.
I think it's just a practice skill. You know, especially during Ramadan, I free wrote every morning while I was opening my fast.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's exceptional.
Yeah. So any last thoughts or reflections or ahas that you have come to the surface from the free write or from hearing the free write or anything we've investigated or explored during the workshop?
I think it is very much that reiteration and a reminder of something that we both believe, which is, yes, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one moment at a time, and relishing each one.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, my big aha or epiphany or thing that I'm keeping mind of this week is the self-judgment. That wherever you're at, if you are knee deep in a 30-hour work binge, or for the 4th day in a row, you just didn't feel like doing anything, and so you put off all of those things you were supposed to do, rather than judging yourself, just embracing that this is what you needed. This is where you are. Because so much energy and time and resources and intuition is wasted on that second guessing, that self-judging, that saying I should have done this, but I did this. And instead just freeing up all that energy by just embrace fully where you are, whatever you are doing. This was fun. I enjoyed this style of doing it.
I did too. A fun, creative conversation.
Yes,
we should post this on Bring to the Table as well.
That sounds like a good idea, my love. Perfect. Well, folks, we appreciate you listening. Let us know what you thought of this style. I know you and I have been talking of having you come back for another celebration episode. So I'm glad we got to start us off. Look at that. What you put out into the universe brings to you in ways that you didn't predict.
Absolutely.
So for those, we're going to move back to our regular scheduled way we do the live and online expression session. We were just kind of doing it a little bit different this month because it's Ramadan. So we'll be back. We hope you will join us. We have a really special guest for that episode. I'm going to save that as a surprise because it's going to be one that's going to be super special, kind of an epic anniversary kind of a thing, because we'll be starting our 3rd year of the live and online expression session starting on June. So that'll be great. Let us know what you think. Adaora, where can folks reach out to you?
at Adaora Muka on Facebook and Insta and Twitter even.
Yes, indeed. So check it out. We hope you enjoyed this. Let us know. Show Adora some love. You know where I'm at Tom Earl Artist. As always, we're wishing you peace and blessings. One more thing. I'd love to continue the conversation. Feel free to join me at tomearl.com/join. Subscribe below, or let's connect on social media. Tom Earl Artist. Thanks again for watching.